developmental trauma and the fundamental qualities. The Tremoring Revolution video series is really about what you can do once you're very familiarized with involuntary movements. So it's really an advanced path with a hint of research and a scent of adventure. It's really for those who are passionate about tremoring, about involuntary movements, and want to discover more about it. So Richmond and I, we've been researching and exploring and discovering so many new possibilities, and we want to share with people. Let's go.
Yeah, we're brothers in arms. We are not in the opposite.
How does my approach is different from other approaches on developmental trauma? I'm really adding and contributing to what we already have. You know, when I first learned core energetics, we learned a very effective way of working with developmental trauma. It's both psychological and embodied, and the results are amazing. You know, people, many people can tell you that. You know that. And you know that in core energetics, we are not only looking to be happy, but also to embody our full potential and open our hearts. And it's really important that work with the traumas and blockages and what's not working. That's how it starts off. But at some point, you got to start focusing on the qualities that have been blocked due to developmental trauma. There are some fundamental qualities in the core of each developmental trauma. And when developmental trauma happens, those qualities, they don't have the chance to develop in their normal course. And that's where my work comes in. So we go into those qualities, we connect with those qualities and allow them to do their work. It's like plugging into these different sources of energy. And the source of energy will, together with involuntary movements, they will bring what's needed. And sometimes they will bring up blockages. But you can just learn how to flow through them. And that's where involuntary movements come into. It's important to have that kind of familiarity and easiness with the movements in all those levels, physical, emotional, mental levels. So you can allow whatever is frozen to start moving again. So that has been my path. I've discovered this way of connecting with those qualities and bringing them into my body and allowing them to express themselves. Working with your problems and your blockages is like, you can spend a whole time working with your difficulties to swim, your traumas about swimming. But at some point, you've got to go into the swimming pool if you really want to learn it. So that's how my work is kind of taking form. It's filling that gap of let's get into the swimming pool. Let's start moving what we really want to move instead of just working with the blockages. Because sometimes working with the blockages become a blockage itself. A blockage from really connecting with what matters. How do I help people get in touch with those qualities? Well, there are some practices we do. Somehow I can bring those qualities into the room. So I invite those qualities and people connect with them. And they feel the moving in their bodies. And of course, some people will feel differently, of course. People are different. But to some extent, everybody can connect with what I'm inviting, those fundamental qualities. And yes, I can work with groups and individuals. With groups, it's quite powerful because then you have a lot of people moving together. But also with individuals are great because I can follow the pace of of that specific person and see what happens and make some interventions to help with the process. So yes, both individuals and group. What people get from it, oh my gosh, so much. So recently someone told me that after being in a group session with me, they've connected to a place within them that they finally gave up the fighting. I don't know if you have a connect with that, but the fighting with life and fighting. And this person told me that she could just let it go. Wow, that was when she mentioned that, whole group could feel it. I could feel it. People have mentioned about how they connect with their heart in such a way that, wow, they felt they were part of the whole existence, or how they felt their power and their groundness. So it's, it's really going straight towards the best in us. And you know that famous poem that I can't remember who wrote it, that we are more afraid of our light than our darkness. So that's it. When we start seeing the light, it's really important to focus on it and allow it to expand and move us. It will move us by itself. It's like with the tremoring. That's why I'm recording this video and this interview on the Tremoring Revolution series, because it's so connected. You know, the tremoring, the involuntary tremoring, also comes from that place of light, that place of health, that place within us that's ready to bring us to our best. So working with developmental trauma also needs, at some point in my perspective, to approach that, to start working with our best and allowing the remaining problems to not be so important, to work with them, to consider them, to respect them, to acknowledge them, of course, but not put them in the center. Our core is not the problem. Our core is our love, our silence, our joy, our pleasure, our happiness. That's our core, and it's there for us. Thank you very much.